Breaking news came down, so we have to discuss it. This is what we do here. We're talking about the Indiana Fever making yet another move, Alicia, because they're Thanos right now and they're collecting all the Infinity Stones.
Sydney Colson just sent shockwaves through the WNBA, leaving the back-to-back champion Aces to join Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Aja Wilson isn't thrilled, and fans are buzzing. With Colson's veteran leadership and Clark's skyrocketing stardom, Indiana is making serious power plays. Could this be the move that shakes up the league?
Two-time WNBA champion Sydney Colson is officially signing a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever. So, the Fever just keep on doing what they've been doing. They're not playing no games in Indiana.
First of all, this WNBA free agency will not let us rest. Number one, we literally cannot rest. But also, I love this move again. Like, Sydney Colson is a great player, but she's also a player that is going to add even more to what we're going to talk about later, and that's that chemistry of the team.
The Aces' reign just took a hit, and fans are in shock. The Fever have been making bold off-season moves, but this one could be the game changer that puts them in title contention. Get ready. This season is about to be electric.
You mean to tell me that two-time WNBA champion, the face of the God Dog League, okay? The Aces' main girl, right-hand man, Sydney Colson, is no longer returning to the Aces and is signing with the Indiana Fever? First of all, do the Fever even have any more roster spots open? How many folks are you guys going to sign?
Picture this. Aja Wilson, the undisputed queen of the Aces, wakes up to a stunning reality. Her trusted right hand is gone. Sydney Colson, a two-time champ and the soul of the locker room, wasn't just a teammate. It was Wilson's ride or die. But something changed. Colson set her sights beyond the Vegas spotlight, drawn to a fresh challenge in Indiana.
She's the face of the league. Self-appointed face of the league, but also just in entertainment and all of these things. She has done and achieved so many things and continues to find amazing places in the WNBA, including with the Indiana Fever right now. And I'm just really, listen, what other moves they gonna make? Because I love this one too. And just great move after great move after great move. And
Sydney Colson's impact on the Aces was never about eye-popping stats. Last season, she put up just 2.5 points, 1 assist, and played 8 minutes per game. But her value? Absolutely priceless. A defensive specialist and clutch performer, Colson made the kind of hustle plays that don't make the highlight reel, but win championships. Flashback to the WNBA Finals 2 years ago. Colson was there, grinding it out, doing the little things that matter most. More than just a player, she was the heartbeat of the Aces locker room, the energy source that kept spirits high and the team locked in. Every championship squad needs that glue player, the one who keeps everything together. For Vegas, that was Colson. And now, she's bringing that spark to Indiana.
I'm excited for Sydney Colson, and I'm excited for the Indiana Fever because they have an amazing player who is also very hilarious, like one of the funniest people in the league. So really excited to see this.
Said, imagine the content between Sydney and Caitlin. It's going to be comedy.
Content for days. I know the Indiana Fever front office is just celebrating because that is a part of it too, is content and having players that are going to be good at that. So come on, Sydney.
Now, let's talk about the Indiana Fever. Are you seeing this? They're making moves like a team with one goal, winning big. Natasha Howard, locked in. Dewana Bonner, signed. Sophie Cunningham, added to the mix. And now, Sydney Colson. It's starting to look like Indiana isn't just rebuilding, they're stacking the deck for something special.
What do you mean Sydney Colson is joining the Indiana Fever? What does that mean? Indiana is just being so greedy right now. They took DB, they took Natasha. Now they got Sydney Colson. Like, why would they take Sydney from us? Why would they take Sydney from us? What the we ever do to Indiana? Except beat them. But like, what the we ever do to Indiana?
Why would Colson walk away from a championship squad? That's the million-dollar question, and it's rocking the basketball world. Aces fans are stunned, struggling to make sense of it, while Fever supporters are celebrating like they hit the jackpot. This move isn't just surprising, it's got everyone talking.
I'm really trying here not to crash out, okay? can't take too much more. I just said the other day, what did I say? Another bomb is Sunday. I said, this isn't it. You know, I can't wait to see what the next bomb will be. Didn't know this would be the bomb. Stephanie White ain't playing fair. I have to say it again. Stephanie White is not playing fair. She on one.
Here's the reality. Colson picked Caitlin Clark over Aja Wilson. Let that sink in. The teammate Wilson once called her favorite, her trusted right hand, just left Vegas behind for Indiana. This isn't just a roster change. It's the beginning of a brand new era.
I believe that Amber Cox and Stephanie White, they were probably scouring the free agency market, and they were like, you know what? We do need to protect our locker room. We need to be able to bring in someone who can be a really good fit, someone who can really help to put these younger players at ease. And also, we need somebody to be able to play some lockdown defense off the bench. And that is it. Sydney Colson is vibes and defense. That's why she's on this.
But this move isn't just about basketball. It's about culture, chemistry, and building something bigger. The Fever didn't just pick up a backup guard for Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. They landed a locker room leader, a defensive disruptor, and a veteran who knows exactly what it takes to win championships. And Aja Wilson, she's not taking this lightly. Her social media is on fire, and Aces fans are in full panic mode. But why all the hype around Sydney Colson? Simple. She's not your average backup guard. She's a defensive menace with elite court vision and a three-point stroke smoother than silk. Now picture her locking in on defense, running the floor, and giving Clark a breather without the Fever losing a step. That's a game changer, and for the rest of the league, that's a scary thought.
Sydney Colson is a two-time WNBA champion, a true vet, an amazing backup point guard. And anytime that CC or any of the guards need to go to the bench, I mean, Sydney Colson always makes the right call, always makes the right decision. So to pick up a vet, a professional like Sydney Colson, and then you also have a vet like DeWanna Bonner, and you also have a vet like Kelsey Mitchell, and then you have CC and Aaliyah Boston and Lex.
Let's break it down. Colson isn't here to drop 20 points a night. That's not her role. The Fever already have plenty of scorers. What they needed was a secret weapon, someone who can clamp down on defense, make smart plays, and deliver in crunch time. But here's the real kicker. Colson brings something you won't find on a stat sheet: leadership. She's been through the battles, won 2 championships, and knows exactly what it takes to reach the top. That winning mentality? It's contagious. And for a young, hungry team like the Fever, she might just be the missing piece that sparks a title run.
I hope that some of y'all, if y'all are not familiar with Sydney Colson, I hope y'all, watch some highlights of her, because don't just be like, oh, Sydney Colson, she barely scored last year. She's not good for the Indiana Fever. No, she is. She is. Don't.
Think about it. The Fever's backcourt is stacked with talent, but they needed a veteran presence. Someone who's been in the trenches and knows how to win when it matters most. Enter Sydney Colson. She's the perfect mentor for Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, ready to guide them through the highs and lows, keep them composed under pressure, and bring that championship mindset to Indiana.
Caitlin Clark actually spoke on this on Sunday, and she had this to say, quote, "I'm excited. Obviously, we made some great moves. I think Kelly and Amber and the whole Fever organization are helping us to win now, and I think that's really important. I think they're putting really good pieces together that are going to complement each other really, really well." And then she continued talking about Steph, their new head coach, and said that Steph taking over as head coach for us, I think, is going to be really great. A great basketball mind, someone that actually called quite a few of my college games. So being able to build that relationship with her and just be in the gym and work on things that she probably saw when I was a freshman in college.
But Colson's impact isn't just about what she does on the court. She's a locker room MVP, the kind of player who keeps morale high, unites the team during rough patches, and brings that winning energy every single day. In a league where chemistry can make or break a season, that's invaluable. And let's talk about the big moments. Colson has been there delivering clutch plays in high-pressure playoff games when everything is on the line. She doesn't back down. She steps up. That's exactly the kind of player you want backing up your stars.
We knew that Caitlin Clark was this phenomenal talent, but she was entering a league that she was not familiar with. She was a rookie. The Indiana Fever have been actively building and rebuilding their organization and this team, and they have a lot of incredible pieces. But the fact that they were able to get into the playoffs and be a team that, although they didn't, advance far in the playoffs, they were a team that we kept saying, if you face them, they're gonna make it difficult for you. That organization then saw that and said, we're capitalizing on this and we're doing it now.
While the spotlight shines on the big name signings, don't overlook Sydney Colson. She might just be the most underrated piece of Indiana's championship puzzle. The Fever didn't just add a player, they secured a winner, a leader, and a secret weapon all in one. Starting to see the bigger picture, the Fever aren't just stacking talent, they're building a winning culture, balancing firepower with defensive grit. And Colson? She's a huge part of that vision. She's the glue that could hold it all together, the steady presence that helps this young squad navigate the highs and lows of a WNBA season.
What Steph White is doing and what the Fever organization is doing is nothing less than phenomenal, in my opinion. They are taking this young, talented core that they have, with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they're adding veteran players that Stephanie White has already worked with. Let's talk about that too, and has chemistry with and knows the work ethic of. And they are building this super team, make no mistake about it, that is going to give you instant results.
Picture this. It's late in the fourth quarter, the game's on the line. The crowd's roaring, the pressure's building, and there's Sydney Colson, calm, collected, ready to sink a clutch three or make a game-winning defensive stop. Those are the moments where she thrives. And now she'll be doing it in a Fever uniform. Here's the kicker. Colson isn't just here to play a supporting role. She's here to elevate the entire squad. Her wealth of experience, sharp basketball IQ, and championship mindset, that's going to rub off on players like Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. She's not just filling a spot on the roster, she's amplifying the talent around her.
This season, the Fever is going to run amok this year. You got DeWanna Bonner. Oh, my God. They took Sid. And some of y'all really don't feel like Sid was that valuable. Sid, so valuable. To not see Asia, Sid, Chelsea Gray, KP, and Jackie Young together.
Let's take a moment to talk about the Aces' empire. Remember when they seemed unbeatable? Well, that image is starting to crack, all because one player made the decision to leave. Aja Wilson's fans are in full meltdown mode, and it's not just about Sydney Colson's departure, it's what it represents for the Aces. One fan nailed it with, "This just hurt my feelings." Ouch. Another went all in, saying, "Guys, it's over. Just hand the Fever the title now." Dramatic, right? You can practically feel the frustration seeping out of Las Vegas. This isn't just about losing a player. It's about losing a key part of their championship culture.
I need somebody to investigate Indiana. I need Indiana investigated. Unfortunately for Indiana, I will be praying on their downfall. I will be praying for them to lose every single game. Like, I just can't. I just can't.
What is painfully clear, and what I've talked about in my other videos, is that the league, the Fever organization are doing everything they should do to make sure their star is happy and that their star gets a ring. I didn't know they were going to load up like this, though. DeWanna Bonner, Sydney Colson, just re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. You already have Aaliyah Boston. You have Caitlin. You have Lexi.
Aces fans are losing it, blaming the Fever front office for creating what they're calling a super team in Indiana. But let's set the record straight. Building the best team possible is literally the job of a front office. It's not their fault they're doing it so well. And here's the kicker. Nobody complained when the Aces stacked their roster with 6 Olympians.
They were so close. They made the postseason, I should say, for the first time in a long time. But this is going to catapult them to what I see as being in the finals, if not winning the whole thing. If you look at them,
they are giving their star, Caitlin Clark, all the pieces she needs to be successful. And you have to clap for that, because this is what you do when you have superstar talent. You build a superstar team. And this is what the Indiana Fever have done.
Now imagine this. The powerhouse Aces, fresh off back-to-back titles, suddenly looking vulnerable. Colson's departure isn't just a crack in their foundation, it's an earthquake, and the shockwaves are shaking up the entire WNBA. Let's break it down. The Aces haven't just lost Colson, they've also bid farewell to Kelsey Plum, a key player in their championship runs, and rising star Kate Martin. 2 assistant coaches and their GM are also out the door. Oh, and don't forget the lawsuit from Dior Hami. It's like watching a championship puzzle fall apart, piece by piece. Meanwhile, in Indiana, the Fever are riding a wave of excitement that's quickly turning into a tsunami. Caitlin Clark's arrival was already huge, but now it feels like they've poured rocket fuel on a wildfire. Analysts are calling them a top 3 team in the league, with some even predicting a championship this year. That's not just a leap from the 5-win team of 2 seasons ago, that's a seismic shift in the WNBA power dynamic.
Can't falter. That's what good coaches do. She is on one, man. She came in and said, I got some things I need to do, and I'm going to get them done. And I'm going to build around Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. And I know, you got to get props and props to do. Y'all, the Fever go run some stuff this year.
But hold on, there's more. The Fever aren't just stacking wins on paper, they're winning over fans across the country. Ticket sales are skyrocketing, jersey sales are off the charts, and media coverage? Let's just say Caitlin Clark and her new super team are the buzz of the town. Are you ready for this? We might just be witnessing a changing of the guard in the WNBA. The Aces, once the undisputed queens of the court, are suddenly glancing over their shoulders. And who's closing in on them? None other than the Indiana Fever, led by the unstoppable Caitlin Clark.
Fit is the most important thing. You got to have somebody that can run up and down the floor and catch those passes Caitlin's going to be throwing.
So, what does this mean for the upcoming season? Hold on tight, basketball fans, because it's about to get wild. The Fever have gone from underdogs to legitimate title contenders faster than you can say buzzer beater. They've got the talent, the momentum, and now, with players like Colson joining the squad, they've got the experience too. And the Aces? That aura of invincibility? It's gone. Vanished in the blink of an eye. Caitlin Clark's star power isn't just transforming the Fever, it's reshaping the entire WNBA landscape. We're talking about a player who can single-handedly flip the balance of power in the league, and now she's surrounded by a squad built to win.